The number of COVID-19 cases is still rising in many countries, but so is the number of recoveries. And today the world reached a positive milestone. According to Johns Hopkins University, more than 1 million people have now recovered from COVID-19. In Canada, just over 55,000 people have tested positive. Of those, roughly 22,000 have recovered. Some more positive news. The U.S. Food and Drug Administration has approved the use of the drug remdesivir for emergency COVID-19 treatment. Researchers say preliminary tests showed the drug may help patients recover faster from the disease. For those itching to get away, Air Canada predicts flights will resume by Christmas time. Speaking with the Canadian Club of Toronto, the company's vice president, Tim Strauss, says he expects to see a significant amount of flying domestically and to most places around the world. But he warns air travelers to brace for fewer flight options. The airline industry has been hit hard by the economic impact of COVID-19. Many airlines are facing huge losses over a major drop in demand. Redmond Shannon takes a look at what air travel could look like in a post-pandemic world.
Going nowhere. Almost 2/3 of all commercial aircraft are currently parked. Some airlines have had to literally chop wood to make enough wheel chocks. The COVID-19 pandemic is already pushing airlines in South Africa and Australia to the brink. Even profitable Air Canada and WestJet can only tolerate so much. In aviation, cash reserves disappear quickly. United Airlines lost $2 billion in the first quarter. It's raising funds by selling some planes and then leasing them back.
So the $2 billion loss here could easily become a 10, 12, $15 billion loss, and that's just with one airline.
Worldwide passenger demand is forecast to halve this year, with no end in sight for the government bailouts.
Part of that problem is we don't know what the other side looks like. Is that 2 months, 3 months, 5 months? Even governments don't have an infinite ability to print money.
Many airlines can't even take advantage of the low oil prices. They're usually locked in to rates agreed to last year. Obligated to pay for fuel they can't even burn. The crisis could truly reshape the industry, one that by its nature helped spread the virus. It must now make sure it minimises the risk of any resurgence. Dubai-based Emirates is introducing thermal scanning and antibody tests for passengers, with physical distancing on board too.
If you start to limit how many people they can put on a plane, that unravels the whole fabric of how they have built a financial model. But if there's social distancing on the plane, I think that leads to higher fares.
These new rules could make discretionary air travel less than enticing, at least until a vaccine arrives.
Well, I want to wear a face mask to fly from Washington to San Francisco, let alone to fly from New York to Zurich.
Any sort of recovery will be a tough sell for airlines. Renationalising some famous flag carriers, as is happening in Italy, may not be out of the question. Redmond Shannon, Global News, London.
The new series that goes inside the COVID-19 pandemic, from the front lines to the everyday heroes helping us cope with the unprecedented change. Coronavirus, the new reality. A Global News special, Sundays at 7 on Global.